Hi, my name is Barbara Allan. I am author of the book Conquering Arthritis, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about my life and why I wrote this book. I was born in Huntsville, Alabama, Rocket City, USA. I was a healthy, active child. Here I'm playing with my little brother. I was on the varsity basketball team my freshman year in high school. Between my junior and senior years, in high school, I spent at Indiana University doing research work that won me the Alabama State Science Fair contest. I love to sail. Here I am on a 24-hour or 75-mile, whichever comes first, sailboat race on Gunnersville Lake. I'm in the white shirt at the tiller. After I graduated from high school, I spent the summer studying harbor seals in Puget Sound as part of a kayaking expedition. Here's the University of Alabama. I graduated from there magna cum laude with a degree in chemistry. Then I went to Washington University in St. Louis. I was a graduate student there. I was in a PhD program in molecular biology. 2 years into that time, I developed very severe, very sudden onset arthritis. So I went from walking miles a day and swimming and taking classes and keeping up a very heavy lab research schedule to barely being able to walk across my living room without passing out from pain from the arthritis. It became very hard to turn doorknobs or hold on to a steering wheel or hold a pen or a pencil or open a ring binder. The pain in my hands was so bad. I did spend 3 more years in that program, but eventually was forced to leave because I couldn't complete the laboratory research part. I could no longer carry rotors, centrifuge rotors, or pipette, or work in the cold room. That hurt too badly. One of the fortuitous things in my life was that during my undergraduate years, I spent a junior year abroad at University of Freiburg. I became very fluent in German then. All my classes were in German, and I was able to become a German-English translator to support myself. It's the only thing I could think to do where I didn't have to walk that could be sent to me in the mail, and then I could translate and just modem out the answers. So even as debilitated as I was still able to earn a living. And I learned just fortuitously one of the wonderful synchronicities in my life from a paper that I was asked to translate for the U.S. Department of Agriculture about all the different things that were allowed to be contained within Black Forest ham that didn't have to be declared on a label, even if it was being sold in the U.S. And there was like small print, 25 or 35 pages of all these different chemicals and additives that could be in a food and never have to be declared on the label. And so that became a very important intellectual turning point for me when I realized that you couldn't trust labels if you had food sensitivities, you couldn't trust labels to keep you safe. You had to know a whole lot more about what was in food than just what was declared on a label. And that's allowed me to get well, and it's allowed me to coach my clients through the process of getting well. It's just an absolutely critical skill. Here I am with my grandfather. I'm in the blue jacket, and my grandfather was one of the German missile scientists that came over to the U.S. With Werner von Braun. He helped develop the Redstone missile we're standing by, and also the Saturn rocket shown here that was used for the moonshots. Here I am in St. Louis again at the Missouri Botanical Gardens. This was right near my house. And getting this electric cart was just one of the most wonderful turning points in getting well because it opened my world back up again. Physically, I wasn't any better, but suddenly I could go myself to the St. Louis Public Library, to the Washington University and St. Louis Med School Library, and directly access the research materials I needed. It still took me years and years of research to figure out everything I needed to get well, but I had direct access. I didn't have to rely on sending friends to these libraries to check things out and copy for me. I could do it myself. here I am. I got well. It took 11 years, and because I never wanted anyone to ever have to reinvent that wheel again, I wrote my Conquering Arthritis book. It seems to me that most people, if they have the information in this book and then they implement the steps they need to heal, can mostly be well, even from pretty severe arthritis, or at least greatly, greatly improved within 6 months to a year. My book's been the #1 best-selling arthritis book on Amazon.com for the last 9 years in a row now. Not every single day is it #1, but almost every day of the year it's #1. Here's a more recent picture of me. My parents came up to visit me. We drove up to Sedona, and here we are. We've hiked up to Bell Rock. We're on the little flat area right before the Bell part. And I never could have done that walk when I was still in the wheelchair, and now I can do all sorts of fun athletic things again. Here I am the night I successfully passed my blue belt test. We've just been awarded our new belt ranks. And to me, this was another night in the dojo shortly before that blue belt testing, and each person in the class broke boards that night, and I had never broken a board. And when I had the arthritis, my hands in particular, it was so hard to even grip or touch anything. They were so sensitive, and to be able to successfully break that pile of boards in front of me and not hurt anything, and just to have my hands still be okay, that just seemed like such a miracle to me. And I can continue to go out on beautiful hikes and do things that, it was nice in the cart, but it's even better when I can go out and see beautiful flowers on my own 2 feet, especially here in the spring. But pretty much every day of the year is a good day here in Phoenix. And I really wrote the book just because it's such a celebration to be well, and I didn't want anyone to have to suffer through all those years of research to reinvent the wheel. I wanted people just to be able to take that information and get well in their own lives as quickly as possible. So that's why I wrote the book.
Hi, Barbara Allan here. I am author of the book Conquering Arthritis, What Doctors Don't Tell You Because They Don't Know. This is the 2nd edition. If you bought the book in previous years, this is the 1st edition. This may be what your copy looks like. I'm very excited with both of them. They've done very well. Sometimes people ask me what's the difference between the 2 editions. This has still got very good, solid information. But the main difference, we've made lots of little improvements in this book, but the main difference is that there's a new blood test that I've discovered since writing the 1st edition. And if you want that information, you can go to the webpage conqueringarthritis.com/ALCAT. And that will get you the most important update of this book in case you have this copy and you want to upgrade to the full information in this copy. Since I've written the book, I have spent many years coaching people one-on-one through the process of healing from arthritis. And because many people can't afford that one-on-one process, I eventually took everything I'd learned writing these books plus coaching people and created an online course. And if you want to go through that course, you can get more information at lastingarthritisrelief.com, or you can go to the Conquering Arthritis website as well. When you take that course, you get a DVD that's a 50-minute overview of everything you need to do to heal. It's a very nice companion to the book. Plus, then you're taken week by week for 6 months through me sitting with you, very much like I'm sitting with you now, and just as a friend, taking you through everything you need to know to heal. So for about 20 or 30 minutes a week, I'll be talking to you by video, but the course is also on a blog format so that if you have any questions, then you can immediately ask me on the blog and then I can answer them for you. And if you do the challenges each week at the end of the 6-month period, you should know everything and have taken all the steps you need to have made substantial improvements to your health. The other thing that I did is because meditation was one modality that was important for me having as complete a healing as I've had, but it's hard to learn from a book, but it's really easy to learn from guided meditations. I've created a 6 CD guided meditation set for people who would like me to take them through exactly what I did in terms of meditation technique to heal. The first one is just an introduction. The second one is Tonglen meditation. The third one is one for physical pain. Then there's 1 CD each for anger and for fear and for bitterness and resentment. That's not a problem for everyone, but for many people with arthritis it is. So it's really nice to have a way to heal that, because it's often an important part of healing your body at a deep level as well. So I'd just like to say that what's been so wonderful for me is I healed my arthritis in 1999. As I'm filming this video, it's 2012, and I turn 50 tomorrow, and I am still totally free of arthritis. I don't have it in my shoulders or in my spine. Stand up, you can see that I've got full range of motion with my hips, with my feet, with my knees. I had arthritis really bad in my spine, and now I can move it any way I want. I had it really bad in my hips, and now I've got full mobility back there. So it is possible to heal, and because I've worked with so many people over the years, it's not just me, but many, many, many people have healed. So if you're interested in trying out these techniques, I've created a lot of support materials, and I would love for you to try them out as well. And I wish you deep healing in your own life.